A liberal stabs a boy over a video game and pulls a race car. This shit gotta stop. Let's get into it.
Stab that young boy, that it would inspire me to bring a level head and my calm and comforting demeanor to politics.
The left is, of course, allergic to any accountability, and certain subsections of the liberal community think that based on the color of your skin, you have a whole extra layer of protection against any kind of bad behavior for your entire life. Well, this Democrat politician, he's really a far lefty, has a horrible incident in his past, and yet he's still running for government because, again, allergic to accountability. And on top of that, he's blaming white folks for people saying, hey, maybe you shouldn't run for government after you did this horrible thing to a young person. And we're going to hear that story for a completely unrelated reason. I want to give a quick shout out to this video sponsor. Hey, you guys know how dialing your optic can burn through a ton of ammo in half your weekend? Well, not anymore. With the Bore Sighter, you can zero in any optic in under 90 seconds without firing a single shot. This thing's a total game changer. Zero faster than ever. It fits 17 to 50 caliber. No ammo, no range time, USB rechargeable, ready to go every single time. Whether you're getting prepared for hunting season or just like keeping your gear dialed in, the Bore will save you time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. To grab yours, just scan the QR code on the screen or head over to mcgtac.com/quart to get the faster, easier way to zero in your optic, period. Link also in the description. Now let's look at this article. Lefty, who gave the old pokety poke 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 to someone who was 8 over a video game, is big mad that people think he shouldn't run for government. I'm not kidding you. So leftist Los Angeles City Council candidate Jordan Rivers blamed racism for the animosity directed to him after the California Post revealed that he gave someone who was 8, he stabbed him back in 2016. Rivers called the confrontation when he was 12 and the boy was 8 just a childhood accident. I know, I mean, it could have happened to anybody. I mean, if I'm always constantly tripping and falling and stabbing people. I'm sure it's happened to you, right? Then he accused the New York Post, the Post, of racism and weaponizing a personal tragedy from 10 years ago to derail his campaign for progress. By placing a current photo of me as an adult along an injury that occurred when I was younger, the publication has used deceptive visual framing and coded racial language to paint a candidate of color as an inherent threat. Brother, you are a threat. You were 12 playing video games over someone who was 8, and you tried to take his life. Now, there's a photo of the victim that's why I went to a full screen in this article. I don't want to show it. It's so crazy. A civil court complaint obtained by the California Post claims that Rivers hit the kid's jugular and shoulder during a play date in San Pedro, a white boy, by the way. Not that that matters, but I don't know. The pair were playing video games when Rivers attacked the boy with a concealed knife. Why was he carrying a knife anyway? The family of the victim called it unprovoked, brutal, and unwarranted. The kid's father said it was just insane that Rivers had been approved to run for city council. I don't understand somebody with that type of history, how they can run for office. Rivers said the candidacy, now I can put this back, the candidacy is proof of that adversity can be transformed into a passion for public service. Brother, you plunged a blade into a kid's neck and chest over a video game. That's not adversity. It is not a childhood incident. First of all, at 12, you aren't some country boy, so I'm sure you were carrying that weapon around for different reasons. And the fact that you thought, boy, over a video game, I should probably try to take this kid's life. It's not like it happened when you were 3 and you didn't know what it was, or, you know, you were playing a video game and there was, you know, you went into your dad's drawer and got something that you didn't know was real. That's not what this was. You were 12. You were old enough to know exactly what you were doing. Now you're running for government, and because people pointed out, yo, hey, maybe this guy has some anger issues, some impulse control issues. Now you're like, well, it's racism and white people. The campaign is about the future, and we'll remain dedicated to delivering on our promises, regardless of who's the reputational damage over community dialogue. No, he did what he did. Rivers also appeared to compare himself to Jesse Jackson and the Jesse Jackson's 1988 campaign, and the hurdles for a black candidate remain incredibly steep. Yeah, Barack Obama was the president for 8 years, and this country is tripping all over itself to elect Muslims. But yeah, people of color have a real challenge. Kamala Harris was handed billions of dollars, and she's as dumb as a box of rocks, but she was handed that because she was a black female. Everybody knows that. And, you know, it was only pure luck that she didn't win the election, because there weren't enough dumb liberal white women racing to the ballots to prove how woke they were so they could tell their friends that they voted for a black woman. I mean, the whole thing was ridiculous. Ruby, one of my female dogs is in here harassing. Hey, get out of here. All right, he's going to bite her. Highlighted through the legend, Reverend Jesse Jackson's 1988 campaign, the hurdles for black candidates remain so steep. Rivers' defense of his campaign comes after an outcry at a registered offender also running. This is the California politics. This is California politics. This is, I mean, you have a chomo, and you have an 8-year-old who did, you know, something horrible. You're a 12-year-old who did something horrible, running for your positions of elected officials. That's not the best California has to offer. I mean, this is so insane. I wanted to grab here. I want to grab to here. Let me go down here to this picture here. So here's the kid running for city council who just accidentally tripped and plunged his blade into a kid's neck. Jordan Rivers left, is running for city council in LA City Council's District 15. He posted from a pro-Cuba event in Hollywood on Sunday. The lawsuit, by the way, from his youth, was settled out of court, with Rivers' mother agreeing to pay $10,000 towards the medical costs in exchange for no admission of liability. $10,000 probably wasn't even enough to cover this kid. I mean, he had a stab wound in his neck and chest. I mean, it's so crazy. By the way, Rivers' decision to run comes in hot on the heels of outcry of a registered offender also running in Fresno City Council. Campos' brazen attempt at an election came despite possessing the horrible type material. It led to California Assembly member Esmeralda Soria to call for legislation to block offenders from running for local or state public office. I would say that's probably a good idea. By the way, going back to this kid who just wants change, Rivers allegedly hit the boy multiple times while they're playing a video game in the garage of their family home. The suit, it was unprovoked, brutal, and unwarranted. Rivers, who lived 5 houses away, had been invited to the home and brought a knife with him, the lawsuit claims. The scene following the attack was something he will never forget. My son came running into this house with half of his shirt covered in blood. It was everywhere. He was screaming and crying. The victim's older brother, Nathaniel, said the attack unfolded in seconds. It was all so fast, he claimed. I was outside playing basketball. The garage was about 50 yards. All I heard was a scream. He ran towards the garage and claimed that Rivers shoved past him and sprinted home. Paul, the father, said he tried to save his young boy's life while waiting for paramedics. I stuck my fingers in the holes trying to stop the bleeding while we waited for help. I mean, that's. And by the way, I want to add, doctors later told the family that the injuries were terrifyingly close to being fatal. If it had gone a quarter inch deeper, this kid wouldn't have survived. It left permanent scars on his neck. Those will stay with him as a visual reminder of the attack. The post made numerous attempts to contact Rivers for comment, including visiting his home, which is this. This is his home. This is California politicians, I guess. I mean, what is going on? Former LAPD cop and LA City Council member Joe Buscanio says if the claims are true, the conduct raises serious questions about the candidate's fitness to lead, either privilege of serving the public, and believe deeply in the principles of integrity. Yeah, I mean, this is the guy he's running against. Anyone want to bet? I bet you this guy's probably going to win.